So my name is Gage,
And my name is Josie.
and we did our project on eagle nesting sites in Maine. So for our project, we decided to gauge the risks that bald eagles face in Maine. Specifically, we focused on the nests and their locations, with interest in locations near bodies of water and highly populated areas. So we hypothesized that more bald eagles will reside in areas with low risk rather than areas with high risk. So why is this important? A really big one is maintaining biodiversity. You know, with maintaining biodiversity, it allows the environment to essentially survive. We want to figure out what eagle nests are considered high risk, moderate risk, and low risk. So this project is important because bald eagles and other raptors are highly sensitive to environmental pressures, particularly human disturbances and reduced access to aquatic food sources. Mapping and categorizing nest sites by risk level allows conservationists and policymakers to make informed decisions about habitat protection, urban development planning, and public education initiatives. By proactively identifying and managing high-risk nest sites, we can help ensure that the long-term health and stability of Maine's eagle populations and the ecosystems they inhabit. In addition, this project supports broader conservation goals by helping maintain biodiversity, promoting healthier aquatic ecosystems, and preserving Maine's natural heritage.
All right, so how did we go about doing this? So first we had to gather the data. So we went and Googled for shape files for our interests. So we looked for nesting sites in Maine, which we found for 2023, and that came from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services open data site on ArcGIS. And then we needed to find bodies of water because bodies of water are great food source for the eagles. So we found a USA Detailed Water Bodies by Esri data and maps from ArcGIS Hub. And then we had to get the ocean, which we got from Flanders Marine Institute in 2021. And then we went on to ArcGIS Pro and looked on ArcGIS Online and found Maine census data. And then we also had to have the state border for Maine, which we got from GIS class, and also the rivers and the roads. So after I got all that data and pulled it into the map, we had to make sure that the bodies of water and the rivers and the roads were only within the Maine border. So what I did was selecting the state border and making it Maine, and then selecting the rivers and bodies of water by location, and I had them as within and the Maine border layer. Then eagles don't just nest by any tiny little body of water. They have to have a large lake or the ocean or large river. So I had to select the bodies of water within that layer of the main bodies of water. I had to select all the ones that were greater than 10 square miles, which classifies as a large lake, and the eagles would most likely um, reside there. So we got the census data for Maine from 2020, and we had to create a population density field in that attribute table because they didn't have one. So we did the calculations and got our population density layer, polygons, and did graduated colors with an appropriate color scheme. Then after that, we had to do the low risk ones, which we classified as not within 1 mile of a large body of water or a river or an ocean, and they had to be in the area that was a lesser population density than 16.53. So that had to be, we did a new selection of the nests that were within a distance, select by location, within a distance 1 mile of bodies of water, and then adding to that current selection 1 mile within river and ocean. That then was put onto its own layer and named that low risk. Then for moderate risk, we classified as including one or the other of those two classifications. So it either had to be in a low densely populated area, but not within water, or within water, but a highly densely populated area. First, I selected the nests that were within a distance of 1 mile of any bodies of water, and I did the same process that I said before. And then from that selection, I selected the nests that were with a population density of less than 16.53. So that was a one or the other, made that into its own layer. And then I did the complete opposite thing with nests that were in population density higher than 16.53, but they were within water. So then took those two layers, merged them, and named that moderate risk. Finally, for the high risk nests, we did selecting the points that were located in population density of 16.3 and higher, and erase the points that were within the 1 mile buffer that I made of the bodies of water and the streams or rivers. So then erase the points within the buffer, was left with those that were not within a mile of water. And then I created a new layer, named it high risk, and all of those had a red, orange, and green point symbology. Then these are our results. As you can see, the lowest risk nests were all along the shore of the ocean and up those rivers, and you can see some lakes in there. So we can tell that a lot of eagles do like to nest like there, like we hypothesized. And the moderate risk ones are very spread out due to the fact that it was including both densities. So it was kind of all over. So you can see that there are a lot of them that classify as moderate risk. And then in the top left there, you see the high risk, which is mostly in that highly dense populated area because there are bodies of water still. There are, wait, that was it.
Yeah.
Next. And this is our final map, and it has everything on it all together, just as a visual.
So some of the implications of our research. The biggest thing actually, is our research will allow conservationists to create informed decisions regarding natural eagle habitats and how to preserve them. So this kind of goes along with what I was saying earlier with why it's important, because it can lead to different policies. It can lead to more education on different wildlife areas and how we can help protect them, and many more, much more. Another thing that really surprised us about our results was that even though many nests are in highly populated areas, some are not considered high risk due to their proximity to a food source.
So next, you can see that there are a lot of nests in that highly populated area, as you can see down here. And that's something that really surprised me, and I wasn't really expecting it because I guess the food source is enough for the eagles to stay in that area, even though there's lots of human interaction. And something that was a challenge for us was the fact that we could not find a population density map for anywhere in the States. So we had to make that ourselves, like I mentioned earlier. So we pretty much just found a census and then had to do the calculations on our GIS. So that was a little bit tough, but we figured it out. And as you can see over on the right, there is a little bit of a different map that has the purple, and the purple is just a different visualization that we found of population density, which was just something in that process of solving that problem of not being able to find one. Just thought this was cool.
That's the end of our presentation. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.